microscope motherboard, the one that helps provide artificial light for the viewing of slides. Now this one is supposed to step down AC power down to DC to be given to this 6-volt battery in a way that I can adjust the brightness. So this one failed, and I have tried to replace a number of components, this, that, and it still refuses to work. Power doesn't go past this point, and this thing failed. There was a piece of metal like this that kept on dangling around here, shorted this to the ground and shorted these points to the ground, and this failed. Now what I am going to do is simply replace this board with another that I had to ship from AliExpress, and this is how the board looks like. Let me just get the part. It was well wrapped for the sake of transportation, and this is how it looks like. So this has been minimalized to this, and lucky enough I got it with also this potentiometer to vary the brightness. And this is what I'm going to use to bypass this and give power to that bulb. Now let me set it up, and for the sake of testing, and we see what we have here, if this bulb will be happy to run on this. So this is the end that this is for varying. This is the end that brings in AC power right there, and then this is what goes to the bulb, written as output. This is AC input, and then this is to turn. I don't know why they call it turn. Is it because you turn the potentiometer to give it power? Okay. This one that I got is rated for 20 watts, as was indicated here. 6 volts, 20 watts. I think this is German, and they write things their own way. So, okay, it's not a thick wire used here. I'm impressed by the quality of the wire, and just even the insulation on the wire is tough to get off. So I think we've really paid attention to the fact that this is going to be transmitting. I see 20 divided by 6 would give you roughly 3.3 amperes. So the current, the thing is well matched. Now I'm going to pick out this bulb, then connect one end to that, and then the other end to this. How do I stop them from touching each other? I think in this position they do not touch. Now I need to give this power. So what was the rating, by the way? Was it 240 volts? But let me first check on the money and see. So I think I'm confident that it is well rated. So let me push this into that end of the plug, because I need power, and this to the other end, because I need power. Now I'm going to plug this end into power, and we see what happens. Please work. Can't even, okay. That is really bright, so I can dim. It was actually at maximum. For some reason it dims. It brightens anti-clockwise and then dims clockwise. That's strange. So I may have to adjust that in my configurations. So that's it. So now we're going to assemble this in there for the sake of getting this working. see you in the next video. Yeah, see you in the next video. Ciao. I'm using shades, so let me see without shades if it's really bright. So I'll see you in the next video. But anyway, I think let's continue. Let me just keep it as one video instead of making two. So now it's time to assemble. Let me detach this and this, and then we start building this into the frame. But because the person who authorized me to do this is not the final person, I am going to have to maintain the old motherboard inside, such that in case the real authority want, then they can reverse it and probably buy the exact motherboard for the Olympus. For now, money needs to be made and they need to work. So this is to get them working. Let me just tighten these mounts so that we don't fall victim to them moving around again and causing trouble unnecessarily. Okay, so that's that. Let's bring this down. So we are going to look for space, and then I think I'll have to accommodate this. I'll have to accommodate this here. So before I do that, I'm going to disconnect this. Because they will have to communicate with this. And then I'm going to disable these by cutting them off from here, so I can reuse that to my advantage and cut that. Then cut this side no communication with there. Having done that, now I'm just going to chop this from here so a person can know where it came from, for the sake of in case they need to use this in future. So I'm going to cut it from here. Right, and then okay. Right, now that we have that, we have this. So this is what we are going to do. Because when we look at this wire is connected to this side. So what I'm going to do, maintain the center and then shift this to the other point. That should allow us brighten it clockwise. So let's get that tested. Where's my soldering iron? Coming up right there. As I wait for the soldering gun to heat up, let me put this back, seeing that now from on we're going to feed it power from there. Okay, that's plugged in. Alright, so let's prepare for the ends of this to work for us. Okay, I like the spirit. I think at times it's good when we get reasonably designed Chinese product. So we have our soldering wire ready. Let us apply flux at our terminals that we're going to solder. There and there. So what we have here. So let me tin the terminals and then trim them. Alright, so apply the first veneer of solder, put that there. Okay, I think we also need to tin this side because we're going to connect them to the power rail out there. I think I'm just do everything at once. But before I do that, I may need to test. So let me just first transfer these. So black is center. So let me transfer it first time. Oh, first thing. Okay. That's too hot. There it is. Connected. I think I'm going to reduce the temperature of my soldering iron. And then we'll transplant this to the other side. Okay. So let's do that. Alright. Okay, and that's done. Now we'll go for the next step, which is tinning these terminals. Okay, it accepts solder, that's good. Alright, I should keep the door open. Circle aeration. Okay, now I'm gonna trim this, so I don't want too much solder surface. Alright. Okay, tin that. It's not tinning, we actually are applying flux. I use this shrink because it's very helpful. So now let me get solder. Okay, alright. Okay, that is done. So I'll need to apply tape around it. Let me see what I have. I have electrical tape here. Then I need to clean the flux off before tape can stick to it. Now this is isopropyl alcohol. Pour it. Okay. And then we use this to wipe there. Okay. Now I can bring my electrical tape and first unplug this. Yes. And then properly bring my tape. I never seem to see my surgical blade when I need it, but well and good. So then we do that. Right. Like that. Then like that. I'm going to be generous since this is a hot place, seeing that the bulb is a hot one. Right. Now the point to trim it short. Alright. That's that. And let's go and solder the next one. This is interesting. Decided to come along with this. Cannot wait for its time. Alright. Let's again put some solder at the tip of our gun. And then bring this to this. Oh, should I zoom in? See what I'm doing? Okay. Alright. And hold it in place till it dries. That's good. Alright, now we also put tape around it. Let's take our liquid and clean. Where's the sponge? It's here. Clean up the flats. You can discard that sponge. Cover fluid and then zoom out. Okay, now we tape this. Alright, now let's bring this here. Okay, seal that, bring that around. Okay, all over. Okay. Right. Okay. Cut that out. And I think this part is good. So we can plug that back in. Alright. Okay. Now this end. So I'm going to plug it back here. We test it before we proceed any further. Now let me reduce this to what I think is the lowest or midway. When plug this into power. Oh, this is not plugged in all the way. Okay. Then we do that. It's brightest. Okay. I think I may have to use their own this, because this is acting so bright. I think I'm unable to dim. This must be a higher rating. Wow, that's too bright. So I have to find a way of replacing this with that. That's why I needed testing before going any further. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, that's too bright. We'll shift to that. Okay, first we'll have to remove this. I'm still disturbed at how I'm going to deal with this connector to allow it to accept. I don't know. I'm now too confused what I can do with it, but that's that. Alright. Let's proceed. Okay. So first things first, we need to get rid of all that solder. I will use my suction tool. It's very soft in that. And suck that out. That alright. And then this side. Same to this. Okay. So I think this can now really come out. Okay. Interesting. So when that's out, let's compare it to this. Unfortunately, I chose not to write the rating of this resistor of ours here. So I'm stuck with it the way it is. At least I know it can go in this way. And first disconnect that. Alright. Is this supposed to be there? Okay. Now that I'm interested in the other side, I'm going to fold this down. Because I already have myself a stop on this side. Okay. That's that. And then I can bring a tiny plate. Then a little screwdriver into place. Then we tighten it there. Okay. So now we need them to go in. As Fat might have it, the holes are not as wide. So I'm going to drill down on them. Okay, so I've drilled holes right there because these terminals were not entering. because when you compare them to these two, they're narrow. Could have just simply looked, but maybe the patience is not there. I also wanted it to increase on the anchoring. So let's push them in. Okay. So I have a feeling there's no objection. Let me squeeze these two towards each other. Okay. Then come with our generous amount of solder. First narrow that in. Yeah, just trying to provide room for my enormous amount of solder to be accommodated. All right. Okay, that's that. So let me first go in with the same layout that they had for their thing. I think let me do mine where clockwise is increasing and anti-clockwise is decreasing. Could be wrong. Maybe it's dependent on where the viewer sits. But I know clockwise should increase. So now that we have it this way, let's see what we get. We may also need to use the switch. So that is okay. Now anti-clockwise decreases, clockwise increases. That's good. So let's go on with now finalizing it. So what I know, let me check which side ends up with. So now this is my continuity meter. Is it the side that ends up here? No, that ends up there. This ends up here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this component here, so that this power is only ending up here and not anywhere else, right? So that we tap from here. So let's remove our rectifier. Okay. So now I'm going to shove the power supply end of my device. Somehow I've managed to tangle this up. Interesting. Okay. That goes there. And now this end will go to these 2 points because I need this to still be operational. I may not tin these before inserting because I don't want them to be wider than the openings. That's interesting. It wants me to force me into drilling. Okay. Alright, I've unplugged it so that I can have more ease of handling. I've noticed I have to widen these holes if my wire is to fit in. Right there, right there. And I'm going to scratch a little around here to increase solder area, solder contact area with the supplying source. Okay. Okay, now that that's done, let me prep this to come through. First one. Then the second one, so I can put it upside down, and then bring my flux, and then my soldering gun, all right, that's good. That's good too. So that's done for. Now next is to get them to sharing this common space. So as usual, we're going to stick this down. Okay, that will go in. And then putting this here. And how could we do that? Does this reach? Let's see. It does. There's the other also reach. It does. So we will find our final sitting place for this. And that's that. So now the thing that remains is just testing it and insulating this from the board. So for now, let's use the cardboard it was shipped in. Secure it in that space. Do this around it. Okay, let's trim the paper from being accessible. Right, I think that's going to be fun. Just for the sake of demonstrating the results. Yes, sir.
Now you're putting this thing to another level.
Eh?
Now you're putting this thing to another level. It's a funny project.
Yeah.
This guy wanted me to pick his PC. I don't know where I left it. I don't know where I gave it.
You left it for repair. It's not yet done. Okay. How long are you going to take? Is that showery? Alright, we know this goes to the ground right there, but now we need to test this, and we don't have that type of connector, so that will be at the lab. See you in the next video. At least I've tested for you, showing that this was operating with that. I don't think there's much we miss. I just need to show you. I've decided to seat this. I'm hoping this allows it to actually cool. So, not know whether I should bend this to allow air circulation. But alright, I think we are okay. We are okay. Trying to figure out a way that I can test it for you without having that lower part. It looks like we are stuck together. So see you in the next video.